A picture is worth 1,000 words, they say. I sit here looking at pictures and listening to their stories as they tell me of a man I knew but didn't know. I know that may seem odd, but we all look at someone and see only what our eyes tell us. We never see the person. I knew my grandfather. Well, I like to think I knew him, but I didn't know him completely, so I stumbled across his autobiography of his 28 years in the Army. John David Patton entered the Army in 1927. He was a good soldier, and I'm not saying that just because we are related. He proved this by excelling to the rank of major by the time he was forced to retire in 1954. He led men and trained up-and-coming cadets. He was assigned to the Tuskegee Institute, where he coached sports and taught ROTC. Here he met outstanding leaders, including the President of the United States, as he stated here in his autobiography. One of the most remembered events occurred during President F.D. Roosevelt's visit to the Institute. I had the honor of being one of his guards and standing close to him during his speech. His energy and vitality was evident to anyone observing him at close quarters. When the U.S. entered the war, he remained in the States after being declined for combat. He met his first wife while serving in the States, and when the time came for him to go overseas, he took her with him. At this time, he was a captain, an executive officer of a provisional battalion. He later was assigned to commanding officer of the 32nd Army Band. However, in May of 1950, his wife of many years succumbed to high blood pressure. This was very painful to him, but through his faith in God, he was granted peace. While in Germany, he wed Katie Berger, a German woman who worked on the base and also for him and his late wife. Her daughter was close to both John and his deceased wife. From this union came 5 kids, 3 boys and 2 girls.
No, Oba and I, we hit it from the beginning. He liked the way I worked, and I liked the way he worked. He asked me if he wanted to come to the States and wanted to work here. I said, yeah, that's where we get married. I never were able to leave until I be married.
It would be nice to end this saying that he's doing well. It would be nice that ignorance hadn't sped up the inevitable. However, in 1998, he was attacked walking home, beaten and robbed. Though this didn't kill him, it accelerated his illness, and a downward spiral began. He was forced to retire from the Army after 28 years. He retired from this world after 92. I sit here listening to the stories from the pictures, and I combine that with the man I knew. As I watch a new person evolve, and a new outlook is formed with pride, and I dedicate this to the man I never knew inside. I know he's part of God's army now, and I can't do nothing but sit and smile.